Love you guys. And by the way, shout out, love the locals. But yeah, so you're finishing editing a video on which one? Indy 5?
Indy 5, yeah, man, it bombed out at Cannes Film Festival. I mean, it just
Bombed.
bombed. Like Variety magazine actually cited the audience as getting quote full of boredom, and they were just whispering to each other during it. Like they stayed up and gave Harrison Ford a standing ovation because it's Harrison Ford, but apparently they couldn't give a shit about the movie.
I got a quote for you right here.
Yeah, no, there's a quote.
Yes, I'll blow it up for you. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Kane's 2023, a shabby counterfeit of a priceless treasure.
Yeah, that was from the UK Telegraph. Variety was no better. IndieWire had a terrible, nasty one too. I mean, it's just it's a donkey show, dude. It's bad.
And Phoebe ruined it. Yeah, and they did not have any impression. They're literally whispering in French.
Despite all it, because see, here's the thing, and I talked to a lot of normies about this. They were holding out a lot of hope that the reshoots were going to make it better, and they were going to make it less woke, and they were going to make it, passable. That was what people kept telling me. They're like, oh well, they reshot it that so much, they must be reshooting out all the woke stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that's possible.
No. They even said in one of the articles that even though Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is every bit as much the hero in the movie as Harrison Ford, and I was like, wait, full fucking stop. No. I was like, right there, giant red flag goes up.
There was even the leak, right? If you have seen that leak video of something from the actual one of the pre-screenings, and it was literally 3 minutes of her degrading him all the way through the thing, and you're like, oh, this is how Indiana Jones is gonna go. It's great. It's like getting Marion, but realizing she has blue hair and a nose piercing, and she just got out of being banned
bitching at
school.
Indy for being a colonialist and stealing property from indigenous people.
Oh, they're gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna.
No, it's done. That's the clip they put out.
That's
the clip they put out on
They
Twitter.
use that word.
Everywhere.
They use that word.
They did not say colonialist, but she's like, "Well, you stole stuff from the indigenous peoples."
Oh,
like,
fuck
you're
you.
like, "Oh no,
you.
it's a total anti-colonialist mantra. It's all it's just Disney running down the checklist of bullshit, and they're gonna shove it right up your ass in this movie. Get ready, folks.
Yeah,
just get ready.
Look, and I'm all for nuanced evaluation of of history and whatnot. Obviously I live out here in Asia, right? And there's a very complicated history with the foreign powers out here. But there's the good and the bad, right? They even out here when I'm actually in a foreign country, unlike most of these people, by the way, who've never actually traveled. A lot of these people who talk about colonialism, whatever else, they haven't actually lived anywhere else. There's pros and there's cons, but even if you ask people, they'll acknowledge the good and the bad, right? There's good and a bad to a lot of things. And the fact that they've tried to pervert the entire influence of the West, like all Western countries since the beginning of time, as inherently corrupt, and everything they've done, they've ruined, kind of like the touch of Sauron or something, right? Where you touch it and it's corrupted. Mm-hmm. That to me is so offensive. And it's so bigoted from a standpoint of if you took that same view and put that on anybody else, you would be prescribed as a horrible racist, right? If you said, oh, well, anything Russia's ever touched, or the Chinese have ever touched, or Iran has ever touched, or Africa has ever touched, God forbid, right? You would be perceived as a horrible racist, right? It's absolutely mind-blowing. And hearing that's in there adds to my I'm never going to come anywhere near this with 100% with a stick. Now that being said, look, after Crystal Skull sucked, I wasn't going to go near any Indian Jones.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't believe this. I thought this was a joke. I cannot believe they have actually pulled the embargo on this. Andrew, get ready.
Hold on.
I have not seen this until just now.
Okay.
Pull this up on your screen. I just put it in the private chat. I know it's only 8. I know it's only 8 reviews, but I cannot believe they pulled the embargo up this early.
Yeah.
We're more than 30 days out, dude.
Andrew has a great point, though.
I did not have this in the video.
50%.
Make it a member short.
Yeah. That's bad.
This is so bad.
I'm mildly turned on right now.
Mildly turned on?
Yeah, I'm trying to sit comfortably on my chair because
Well, see, it's Rotten Tomatoes. So what I figure is if you don't if it doesn't go full woke, it's not good enough for their glowing 100 out of 100 magical rating, right?
And you're getting an echo from the chat.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was just me. I was like,
Probably
okay,
it's probably the tab.
But you made a great point earlier, Andrew. The whole point is like we used to be able to have criticisms, but now criticism has been warped into a new meaning, which means you're either racist, phobic, or some type of ism. We can't even discuss what's good and bad. You have to look at both the pro and the con. That's been going on through the film industry forever, whether you're a critic like Siskel and Ebert and all that stuff. We can't even do that now on Twitter or any social platform. It's like you're only hating it because we only tell you why you're hating it. They're not listening to the person actually giving the criticism. And that's a falter of discussion. That's what they're trying to destroy.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw that. I was sharing this in the background, but there is one movie that's coming that I'm very excited about. This
Little
one,
Mermaid.
no, Gorlock the movie.
Oh no!
This is the one. This is the one that's going to make all the real money here, guys.
Yeah, she's in the new Godzilla movie.
Well,
I'm waiting for Little Mermaid
baby.
with Liar Liar to go to your hand.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, no. Look, listen. I just think anything they touch, they're going to make, they're going to screw up. Which is why when people talk about Hulu and the merger, right, and Valiant, I want to get your 2 cents on that. I just think they're only going to make that worse once they make that acquisition. Now, Valiant, is that pretty much a done deal in terms of logistics, or what are we looking at with the Hulu situation?
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a predetermined, let's just call it a buy-sell agreement, right? From a legal standpoint, you know, like a succession plan, a buy-sell agreement. This was put in place when all this kind of came about, and it's basically a put.
It's like an option contract where they had an option to buy this.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, it's a right of first refusal, effectively, or actually, really not even that. It's just a straight put. So at this point, with Disney being the majority owner of Hulu, one of the two had to buy it out, either Comcast or Disney. Now, of course, Disney is in the hierarchy position here, which means it's more likely that Comcast can just force the sale to Disney because they have the smaller share. I mean, Comcast is not going to go spend, $30 billion or whatever, and give that to Disney, $20 billion or $20 billion, whatever the hell it is. Disney's going to buy it out. They want Hulu. They've been a majority owner of it now for years. It's one of the more lucrative streaming platforms that they own, and they don't want to let it go. Disney announced that they're going to do a unified, consolidated login service between Disney Plus and Hulu later this year. So that should have given everybody a big fat clue during the earnings call. Disney would not be trying to consolidate the graphic user interface of these two platforms where they're not going to take them over. So that's going to happen. Disney can play coy with it all they want, but it's been obvious now for some time. They're going to have to fork over about $10 billion to Comcast to get this. Obviously, largely this is going to come from stock. And I even stipulated earlier on Pro's show that I think this is one of the reasons that Disney, apart from the dwindling, operating income, this is certainly one of the reasons that Disney would not want to jump on the gun to reinstitute the dividend anytime soon, because if they're going to chunk out $5, $6, $7 billion worth of treasury stock to Comcast to buy that out, they don't want to open the door to paying a dividend right now, because, I mean, if they did, that $5, $6, $7 billion worth of treasury stock, they wouldn't pay dividends to themselves. But if they have to turn that over to Comcast as a point of purchase here for the Hulu enterprise, then all of a sudden they would be on the hook for dividends for those $5, $6, $7 billion worth of shares. So I think that's probably also why they've been reluctant to go back to that. Now, many other companies have as well, to be fair. But I think that's a big part of it. They're gonna get through this year and get through probably fiscal year 2024 at this point, I would bet, before they start talking about dividends again, to see what this deal will shake out with Comcast would look like.
Got it. So, I mean, they're not, and that's one of the games they have to play, right? Whenever there's sort of a payouts involved or dividends involved, they've got to do that math, right? Yep. And they've got to factor that number in. And that's one thing, by the way, that a lot of people who are investing in these companies are banking on. And I've talked about why a lot of Disney people are coming out of the woodwork. It's because they've got money in Disney. That's one of those safe stocks that they just park their money in. They're like, well, I'm just going to get my dividend, right? Like Coca-Cola, right? It's famous Buffett investment where he shoves his money in it, and you're going to get what, a 4% dividend or something like that, 3-4% dividend.
Oh, not even that from Disney. I mean, historically their dividend was like around 1 point something to maybe 2.
1%?
If it comes back, I think it'll be around 1. Most people that are re-engaging dividends after dragging them off the table during the pandemic era, they're coming back light unless they have massive cash flows to support it. Disney's obviously, their cash flows have kind of rocked back. They have more losses now than they used to. They're consuming their own content. Disney Plus is running up debts. They're shutting down things like the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. This is not a time where you go, hey, here comes a dividend, y'all. No, this is not a time of expansion for Disney.
Right.
No, I think it's a time for Disney to actually start opening up their vault, like we said last week on previous shows, and start digging into their classic vault and start bringing those out and giving that the forefront of what Disney used to be, and see if they can make some type of buck and some type of image back. Drop the socio-political nonsense and start focusing on the one thing that they were known for that they have lost: family entertainment and somewhere safe for kids and family, and they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And they've been failing on that. Speaking of which, shout out to Yellow Flash. I sent him an invite real quick if he wants to pop on. But he says, Yellow Flash in the chat, who said Kathleen Kennedy's having a bad day. Yeah, she is.
Oh my
definitely,
God, he must be drunk. He never super chats.
Definitely not having a bad day. I think we're all when I woke up and I'm like, and I'm recovering. I'm like, oh shit. And I wake up and I see all this Disney news. I'm like, how literally have they managed to continue stepping in it for the past 2 weeks daily? Almost daily, there's been massive.
Oh, dude!
Massive
Pro
issues with
threw his
insane.
whole live show script out the window before he started because
he did.
It just kept bombing. 30 minutes before he started, the Disney Galactic Star Cruiser thing dropped. Then the news about the Indiana Jones stuff and the Cannes Festival dropped. And then it's boom, boom, boom. And we're going off script. It's going to be one of those shows, dude. Suck it up, Buttercup. Here we go. That's just the day. That is the day.
I had to write an angry letter to the Walt Disney Corporation because of all of that news, because I had to do so many goddamn thumbnails for these two people.
I'm so sorry.
Well, you have no idea. It's like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need the same one, but different. And I need this. I'm like,
and then you've got to revise it.
He has an amazing thumbnail for me tomorrow morning for this Indiana Jones thing. So I can't wait till y'all can see it.
Y'all blowing each other's thumbnails.
Hey,